Hello, welcome everybody to our BG5 Foundation Course, Your Personal Operating Style, and this is semester 1. So this is the first class and really an introduction and an overview to the power of BG5. Now, some of you here are actually registered for this course and on board moving forward, so a special welcome to you. And I'm really looking forward to getting to know you better. And this first class we have opened up as well for people to try it out. So it's a trial class so that you can experience what BG5 Foundation Course is all about. Check it out and see if this course is something you may be interested in. So I'm really excited also to see all of you, the special guests joining us. Today, just for the logistics, we're not going to have everybody's sound on. You can raise your hand if you do have a question, but actually I will open it up at the end of class for questions. If you do have a question along the way, you can also type it in, and Sarel, my assistant, he can answer your questions as we will go about, and I probably will take a look at them as well. But you know, if it's something that you see right away that you have a question about, that's okay. But about moving forward, etc., I have a Q&A at the end of class as well. So today actually will be a regular class, huh? And so please, you know, follow along. Next class, so usually the foundation course is very interactive, so everybody has, you know, the ability to talk. And next class we will do introductions with those of you that continue onward. So today I will just do a quick introduction of myself and Sarel. So my name is Nathalie Keizer. I am Dutch. I live in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam. And I have my own BG5 consultancy practice here. And I'm an instructor at the BG5 Business Institute, as well as so for the foundation course and the consultant certification course. And I'm also the institute administrator, so helping out, you know, at the back end of everything, and planning all of the courses, the newsletters, and all that is into play when we take a look at running an institute. So I'm a classic builder, and for those of you that are not familiar with the BG5 terminology, in human design terminology, that is a generator. And I met BG5 about 6 years ago and got really passionate about it. And actually, since then, I've been full-time enrolled, and I'm now working for the Institute about 5 years. So I love the accuracy of this system. It's really the only system that I know of that can show you this much detail about each and every one of us, how unique we really are. So I hope this course inspires you in learning more about yourself and learning more about your personal operating style and learning more about BG5. So I'm very happy to have Sarel with me, assisting me in this foundation course. Sarel is BG5 consultant as well, and he has assisted me or he's actually still assisting me as well in the certification course semester 3. So he knows a lot as well, and he is here to assist all of you as well. So maybe you'd like to say hi, Sarel, so we can hear your voice, and I don't know, whatever you want to share.
Thank you. No, thank you. First of all, I want to say my name is Sarel, surname is Botha, and I want to say a warm welcome to everyone. And I'm really, really so excited to be part of this amazing BG5 Foundation course we're having. And I'm very, very glad to see that there's a lot of people that's interested, and some is already enrolled. And I would really encourage the people. This is amazing, amazing, amazing system. This system, BG5, is so different from all other typing systems that I have experienced. So if you ever heard of it's completely different. It encompasses so much more of who you are, and the differentiation of how we can look at you completely outperforms any other system I've experienced in my life. So again, I want to say a warm welcome to everybody, and looking forward to this journey. Thank you, Natalie.
Yeah. So Sorel actually is in South Africa, and sometimes we cannot help it. His Wi-Fi is, you know, having its own ways. So I'm sorry about the sound if that came across a little bit, but it's okay. Anyway, so let's take a look at who is joining us. So welcome, and to have an idea of who is joining us, I'm actually going to launch two questions, two polls, to see who we have here. So first of all, what is your career type? So you can click on the what your career type is. So we have the builder type. Oh, you see both questions. All right. So we have the builder type, which is the generator and manifesting generator in human design terminology. We have advisors, which are the projectors in human design terminology. Innovators, which are the manifestors in human design, and the evaluators, which are reflectors in human design. And maybe you do not know, are you really, really new to the system and you do not know your information yet, then you can always look it up on our website. You can just get a body graph for free, your career design, and also a free report. So I really encourage you, if you haven't taken a look at that, to take a look at that on our homepage. So the other question is, what is your experience with BG5 or human design? So are you fairly new to human design? Or have you done a lot of self-study but no official courses yet, and that's why you're here and checking it out? Or maybe you're actively studying BG5 or human design courses. Or for some of you, maybe you are already a professional human design guide, living your design guide, or human design analyst, or a BG5 consultant. So we have a wide variety of people here, I see. So let's see what the poll gives for results. And I think you now can see the results as well. So we have 38% of you that are builders. So welcome. And I hope this is something you respond to. So that it feels something that's exciting you to continue onwards. We have 43% of advisors. So advisors, I invite you to, you know, take it in and see with your decision-making strategy if it is correct for you. And actually, it's interesting in the, you know, in general, if we take a look at the world, about 70% are builders and about 21% are advisors. But usually in the courses, we have quite a bit of advisors, since advisors are here to really, you know, learn a system and are interested in knowing the other. And then we have 90% of you, so 4 of you who are innovators, so welcome as well. I know we have an innovator already signed up for this class as well, so I think we might have almost all types. Evaluators today are not attending, but who knows, I know at least one evaluator that would want to join today, so maybe she will join. I don't know if she's going to sign up, but actually in real, you know, in the world, only 1% of the population are evaluators. So it's quite rare to have an evaluator in your class. Although I must say, evaluators do like the BG5 system. In one of my previous foundation courses, I actually had 3 evaluators in one class. That was extraordinary. So it's interesting. And then for experience, so if you are fairly new, this is really a good place to start, right? So knowing about the system and learning about yourself, learning about others, that's what it's all about. And most of you have done a lot of self-study, 70%, but no official courses yet. So I totally get where you're at. When I found this information, I went crazy online, looking for every YouTube video I could find. And, you know, I ordered the definitive books right away. And I really felt as if I got, you know, the science in my hand. So I can see, and you will also benefit greatly from, you know, learning this system in depth as we go through all of the information in this foundation course. And then some of you are actually taking BG5 or Human Design Foundation courses. I will talk about it at the end of class, but if you're taking Human Design Foundation courses, then you are eligible to audit the BG5 courses as well. and we have a professional here as well. And I can share that also human design guides and human design analysts really like to take this information, because you get a whole different level, a whole different set of ways to explain the information to your clients. So it's really beneficial to the professionals as well. All right, so let's continue on. And this is our wonderful classroom up until now. So I'm happy to have all of you. So welcome Andrew from Canada, Melinda from Virginia, Veronica from Pennsylvania, Alexa from Connecticut, and Kate from Massachusetts. I myself am from the Netherlands. We have Natalie as well from California, Olga from Russia, Saral lives in South Africa, and we have Amanda. And Amanda is in Australia, and it's really early in the morning now for her. I'm very, very happy that you were able to join live. I know you will not always be possible to join live, but that's really no problem. But I'm happy to have you, and wonderful. So who knows, if you like to continue on with us, you will be on our beautiful class map as well next week. But let's dive in and you know, get a taste of what the BG5 Foundation course is all about. So what are we going to take a look at today? We're going to take a look at what is BG5, and so I will cover what actually BG5 means and what it is, and especially for those that are fairly new, or even if you are studying human design, you may not be familiar with BG5 and what it is all about, or what BG5 even stands for. So, and how BG5 can support you in your life, your work, and your career. So that's what I will be talking about first. And then we're going to take a look at the course overview to see, you know, where we're heading and what we are going to learn in this foundation course. And then I will share a bit about the times we're in. And this is really key, because we are in crazy shifting times. And you know, I used to have to explain a bit more about it, but I think everybody is now well aware of the crazy shifting times we're living in, being in quarantine, in lockdown, and opening up. And, you know, the world is shifting and changing. And we know from the Human Design BG5 system that this is what is happening. And you know, I will share a little bit more about this, but this is what we see, you know, going up until 2027. So helping you to understand what is happening, and you know, maybe you feel lost or in this world, just to help you ground yourself, you know, so that you are aligned with who you are and capable of, you know, navigating through these times. This is really, really, you know, this information is key in supporting all of you with this in this challenging times. And then we're really going to dive into the information of the body graph. So this first class, we're going to take a look at the foundational binaries and the synthesis of these binaries that make up our body graph. So part of what we do in the foundation course is really learning to read the details of the body graph itself. So you'll be able to take a look at the body graph and really understand, you know, all of the different components. So we are going to take a look at the red and the black, so the conscious and the unconscious, using this information and then also applying it to your own design. So we have a practice assignment for you, and that will be about this. It's really a fun assignment, and it helps you, you know, dive in with the different perspectives of design. So also, for those of you who would like to continue on, at the end of class, I have some bonuses I want to offer you. If you want to continue on this journey and discovering yourself and unlocking your true potential. So discovering who you are as a being and what makes you unique and how you can become fulfilled using the BG5 information. So we have some very nice incentives to learn about yourself and learn about others. So that's what I will be covering today. And after class, myself and Sorel will stick around to take questions. And of course, you can also use the Q&A area to ask questions along the way if you have any. So welcome, let's get started. So what is BG5? Well, BG5 is the career and business application of the human design system. It's very different than the personal application in human design. And although we look at, the individual aspects of your design and how you operate as yourself, we are focused on how to get aligned in your work environment. So, and in your daily life as well. So in BG5, we look especially at the most basic and fundamental issues that all human beings have to face, which is how to be successfully materially in a job or in your career or with your business, in making money in a fulfilling way. So that's what we take a look at, and that's kind of the focus. And myself, I'm not such a material girl, so to say, or ambitious or whatever you want to call it. So, but it is really about living who you truly are so that you can, earn your money with your true talents. So loving what you do, and that is what the aim is. If you live according to yourself, in alignment with your design, and you can use all of your talents, you benefit, yourself in doing that, in getting fulfillment, and you benefit others with your talents, what you are here for. So you really can live out your purpose and make money with that. That is the goal, what we have in BG5. So what this means is, and what we take a look at, is how you are designed to make money. How can you fulfill your purpose? What gifts get called out of you in large group and in small groups? Because what we also take a look at in BG5, and which is what you learn more about in the consultant certification course, how do you interact with others? First you have to know yourself, but in the world, we always interact with others, either, personally, in relationships, your friends, but also professionally with your clients, your colleagues, your boss, your employees. So what working environment do you work best in? So some of us work best solo, but some of us work best in partnership or in small groups or in large organizations. And this is something we can take a look at from design as well. So knowing what environment you're designed to work in that is ideal for you can make a huge difference in the way we are successful. And how do we best work with others? So it's not only about, understanding yourself, but also about understanding yourself in relationship to others. Because if you think about it, we make money, and there are a few exceptions, but almost everybody does make money in interaction with others. Either you sell a product or a service to your client, or you have colleagues, or you collaborate in any other way with people. There's interaction all the time. So you see, BG5 goes beyond the personal aspect, and it also goes into understanding the interpersonal aspect. But in the foundation course, we focus on the personal aspect first. And of course, you learn about the other types. So actually, there is a bit of interpersonal relationship understanding as well. So what does BG5 mean? So BG5 stands for Base Group 5. And actually, the Base Group 5, the BG5, the Penta, as we call it, is the foundational building block that determines the success of any business. So this Penta, or this unified group, is typically between 3 to 5 individuals that complete these 12 core business skills necessary to operate as a successful team. So we have culture, capacity, commitment, reliability, vision, coordination, planning, implementation, accounting, administration, public relations, and oversight. So these 12 skills are necessary for any business to be successful. Now, why is it the basic building block? Because if we have a small group, it's 3 to 5 people, but then when you grow larger, you actually build this building block on top of it. So the penta is, you know, the foundational building, and we are always moving in and out of groups in our lives. We actually are born into a small group, right? Your family itself has this group dynamics. So BG5 provides the mechanics to understand how group dynamics operate, and it also provides us with an understanding of how we operate best, both in and outside of groups. So that's actually what BG5 stands for, and where the terminology comes from. So I want to talk a little bit about, you know, how BG5 is different from human design. Yes, the design is of course the same. But one of the things that's different, that we take a look at the positive side of conditioning. So the actual healthy purpose of conditioning, because conditioning is something natural. You know, conditioning is mechanical, that happens at the time that we connect with others. So I want you to think of it in a positive way, you know, because we are all connected here on the planet, and each of us have a specific thing to contribute. So in essence, what we take a look at in BG5 is, how do you take advantage of conditioning in a healthy way? And how can you make use of these mechanics of conditioning in a healthy way? So to make money, we must connect with others, as I shared just now. So with clients, customers, business partners, suppliers, vendors, teams, departments, co-workers, employees, bosses, managers. And when you are aligned with what is correct for you, you connect with who you are designed to connect with. And you naturally influence them, and they influence you. So you can condition them, and they can condition you in a positive, healthy way when you are following your decision-making strategy. So with that, you support yourself in material success, right? So this is a little bit, you know, yeah, I know in human design we talk about the not self, and of course we really dive into that in foundation course as well, actually in the first semester, when we take a look at the shadows and distractions, but we also take a look at the other side, right? Because in essence, it's also trying to get you moving in, you know, day-to-day life, you know, practical right now when starting to learn about it and getting more and more aligned with yourself. So here are some examples to illustrate what I'm talking about. So how to utilize mutual influence in a healthy way, you know, how to utilize this conditioning. So for instance, if a group or an individual has a hard time focusing on the details, you know, get somebody with the strength of focus, the 52-9. And actually, you are very happy to be in class with me, because this happens to be the only strength that I have in my design, and I have it twice. And this is a very, very strong strength, as we will learn in the second semester, because it's a format strength. So it really gives you this focus and this concentration to be able to follow along in this class. So I bet you in my days in university, also people would love to sit next to me in the room when exams come up to study, right? Although at the time I wasn't aware of that, but that's the frequency, that's, you know, the talent that I have, and that others can benefit from. Or for instance, how workout studios make money. You know, you have a group with a coach to give everyone the willpower and the direction and energy to work out. You know, if you probably, or I at least, have tried to work out by myself, and then, you know, you do it 2 times and then it's really hard to keep up the discipline. But then if you are in a gym and you have these series of workouts and a coach to guide you, and you have the willpower around you of other people who work like crazy, then you feel also this hype, and you feel good afterwards, because, you know, you worked out and you were motivated to do it. So you really can take advantage of the conditioning that gives you the willpower and direction to do the workout. Or if you have a collaborative assimilation, so for instance, Karen Sherwood, the Director of Training and Education of the BG5 Institute, has a collaborative assimilation. So this is one of the things we're also taking a look at in the first semester, actually. So what she is missing is the 14 of power skills. So this is a capacity in the small group this is capacity in the small group. So from the business skills that we were talking about. And Karen has the other side. She has vision in the two, but she doesn't have the resources to fulfill on that vision without somebody with capacity. So for her, it's very healthy to collaborate, to work with others, to take advantage of one having one side of a strength and one having the other side of a strength. So a strength actually is a channel in human design. And for those of you that have a background in human design, when you come into the course, I actually have a cheat sheet, an upload in the resources, in the course resources, with translations from human design terminology to the BG5 terminology. Another example is, for instance, marketing. So it's all about appeal and what people want, right? If you can appeal to what people are conditioned to want or feel that they need. So if you have your own business and you work in the realm of business and marketing, it's all about this. And then one of the things we actually have in BG5 is the profit potential. And it was workshops, but now it's actually shifted into an advanced course. But from your openness, this is really what you have to sell. This is where you attract others. And then with what is defined in you, you can, deliver on what you were selling. So actually, this is a positive, how do you say that? The healthy sense of how you use your openness. It is where we connect with others, right? You are attracted to what you have not. All right, so here I have a quote of Jim Carrey, and actually this really very nicely speaks to the same. So I'd like you to ponder this, because this again is also how you can take advantage of the conditioning in a healthy way. So we make money by serving others, and think about that. Sometimes money gets really this, bad rap, and for good causes, but actually, you serve others while making money. And this is the BG5 perspective we take. So how are you designed to serve others? How are you designed to make money by serving others? So here's the quote. How will you serve the world? What do they need that your talent can provide? That's all you have to figure out. I can tell you from experience, the effect you have on others is the most valuable currency there is. You can fail at what you don't want, so you might as well take a chance in doing what you love. So this is really a lot of what we, take a look at in BG5 and in the foundation course. Taking a look at what is your currency, what is your talent that you can provide that others really need? What is the effect that you are designed to have on others, that you can use in a positive and successful way to serve others, and with that making money, right? That's actually, how it's supposed to be, more or less. So, and in doing that in ways that brings you a feeling of satisfaction and success and peace or delight, really a joy of fulfillment. That's what it's all about. So material success is simply a byproduct of the service you provide to others that leaves you with a feeling of satisfaction, success, peace, or delight. So that's what BG5 is all about. So let's take a look at, having a little overview of what the course, the foundation course, is all about. So it's really about unlocking your unique personal potential. So you can see it all around you, how frustrated people are in not living true to who they really are. And in essence, some people are frustrated in their jobs, but, keep on going. And this time that we are in right now, the whole world is on a pause. And people start to think and to contemplate, is this really what I want? Because people's souls, in essence, dry up if they're not doing what they love, if they're not loving what they do. So they are not satisfied and they do not experience success, or they do not have peace or delight. So to be successful in career and business, you must first understand the basic foundation of your own unique career design. And in Foundation 1, we begin the journey with uncovering how your hidden potential, of what your hidden potential is, through understanding your personal operating style. So this will introduce you and get you familiar with the new BG5 language and terminology, and how it works for you and how it works for others. So one of the reasons that we changed the words, and actually it was Ra himself who, taught BG5 3 times actually, and that was the certification course. So we added the foundation course to it as well. He taught it, and then he said, well, okay, now it's up to you to make this into language that can get out there in a broader sense, that's accessible in the business world. So a lot of the terminology, if you take a look at human design, the esoteric terminology, and then the explanation of it, you will find the words that we use in BG5 in the explanation of it. And Angela has a question. Can the BG5 material be applied when people have no prior knowledge of human design and the personal design? I have noticed there is a trend among marketing types to do this now as people look for an edge. The BG5 material can be applied, but if you don't have, yes, you can. It can be applied if you don't have any human design knowledge, starting here, right? But you do need to know about your design, and it is really difficult to just, market by types, for instance, just knowing the surface. There's so much more to it. There's so many layers. So yeah, I hope you get what I'm referring to. So what we encounter in working with human design language is that, if and I encountered this myself, you oftentimes, spend a lot of time explaining what the terms mean. What does a projector mean? What does a hermit mean? What does a heretic mean, for instance? So this is really the simplified terms that any general layperson can understand. That's, the language, and to have a broader scope and a broader reach as well in the world. So we will be introducing this language to you throughout this course. So in semester 1, it is about unlocking your personal operating style. In the second semester, it's unlocking your creative operating style. So it is about discovering how to fulfill your career design in healthy ways and how to avoid the consequences of operating in an unhealthy way. So you will learn to access your potential through your career type and how to use your energy efficiently. You will learn to gain power in your interactions with others and interacting effectively. And you will discover how to take advantage of your specific decision-making strategy to make the correct decisions. And not only the correct decisions, but also at the correct time. If you think about it, most of our lives, or our complete life, is made up of the decisions we make, right? This determines, the path we take. And oftentimes we get thrown off track by taking decisions from the mind versus your true decision-making strategy that comes from your body awareness. So imagine taking the right decisions at the correct time, and then having it unfold in front of you. You will also learn to recognize the key indicators. These are the signposts that will allow you to quickly see if you're on track or off track, to navigate back on track, right? And you will learn how you are designed to process and assimilate information. And then we'll take a look at the 9 functions and how you operate in a healthy and an unhealthy way with your defined functions. And we will have actually 3 classes on shadows and distractions in detail. So really showing you, the conditioning side and the wisdom side, how you can get distracted and how you can take advantage of the conditioning in a healthy way. So, and today we will start with exploring how to identify the conscious and the unconscious aspects of your design. And I saw a few more questions. Is there anything, Sarah, that I need to take a look at?
Can you hear me, Natalie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just Olga had a question about where can they find the
Okay.
recording?
Yes, so the recordings will be sent to you. If you are a special guest, you will receive an email. So this email will be sent out today for yesterday's class and probably tomorrow for today's class. So you will get the link and will have access to the recordings for a week. Great question. So no worries, you'll get the recording. All right. In the second semester, it is about your creative operating style. And actually in this semester, you really learn to read, all of the details in the design. So you will learn about the 3 important themes of working with others. So where you are designed to empower, to support, or to share. How all 36 potential strengths, so channels, operate and identify which strengths you can consistently rely on. You will learn about the 64 individual traits or gates of human potential and identify which traits you personally identify with, which traits you naturally attract in others, and which traits you are here to be wise about. So you will also learn about the 6 quality nuances of a trait imprinting to get a deeper understanding of your personal design and your gifts. And finally, you'll learn about the 12 public roles and the expression of your life's purpose, how to fulfill your life purpose. So that's what we take a look at in the second semester. So you can see it's jam-packed. And as you probably are already experiencing, we have quite a bit on these slides as well. We do this on purpose so that you can make your personal binder about it. So what are the outcomes of the foundation course? Well, first thing and the key thing, kind of like living your design, but in a slightly different perspective, in the BG5 perspective, is how to make money and how to operate in this physical world is understanding yourself. So really assimilating this information into your own life personally and professionally. And it's also about understanding others. So not just yourself, but also understanding others personally and professionally. It really can improve your relationships and interactions with others, and not only at work, but also at home. And if you think about it, actually, we spend more time at work with, the people that we work with. And then when you come home and sometimes you're really tired, actually the ones that you really love, you are maybe a little bit more, how do you say that? You can take the things home, right, from your work. So it's good to create better work relationships so that you don't get out of tilt, and it can create better relationships at home as well. So understanding yourself, understanding others, and understanding the BG5 terminology. So it is a bit different from the human design terminology as I just shared. And it is also of great benefit in your learning and sharing this information in a different way. So also, if you are a human design, living your design guide or living the human design analyst, this will give you a real great foundation as well. And finally, learning to interpret the body graph in terms of business and career. So we have a slightly different way of looking at it, and that's what you will learn as well. So these are the outcomes of the foundation course and learning and understanding the information. Now, who can benefit? I actually addressed it more or less already. So if you are new to human design or BG5, This will give you a solid foundation in understanding the BG5 and human design system, specifically in terms of job and career. And there are a lot of people here, about 70% that did a lot of self-study, so you really can benefit. Now, for BG5 consultants, human design analysts, and living your design guides, this really gives you an ongoing development and learning this language and deepening your knowledge base. It will help you in communication with clients. And there are many living your design guides and analysts that actually audited the foundation course and really, mentioned that it enriched them in their ways of operating and working with their clients. And the other thing is, of course, for yourself personally, in understanding your personal design and also in understanding the designs of others. It helps you to succeed in, personally and professionally. And this is also the basis if you are interested in becoming a certified BG5 consultant. The foundation course is the prerequisite for that. So to give you a layout of an outline of the classes this semester. So today we have the introduction and overview, and we'll get into the first bit. Next week, we'll dive into the 9 functions and how it operates in a healthy and in an unhealthy way when you have them defined. So also if you have them defined, you really need to live out your true self for them to operate in a healthy way. Then we have 4 classes on each type, each career type, and we'll dive into the personal interaction style, the key indicators, and the decision-making strategy for each type. So it's really wonderful, and I am going to ask if we don't have any evaluators in our class, if we could have some of our cheer group. We have the club of 1%, so to say. We actually had a how do you say that? A free webinar discussion, a live discussion on the evaluator type recently. And we have had it of all the types. So we have a few that we could invite to participate, so you can ask your questions live. It's really wonderful to have them in class. In class 7, we will learn. You will learn how you assimilate information, and this is actually, what your definition is about and how you take in information. So this is also tying into where your shadows and distractions lie. So shadows and distractions is all of your not self, and maybe you have bridging traits. That is your strongest impact on not self and shadows and distractions. So in these 3 classes, and you see 3 classes, which is really, a strong basis, diving deep into each of the functions, into, the shadows and also the wisdom on the other side. Once you understand, first you have to understand what the conditioning is and how it can take you over, because most of the times we are not aware of it. It happens unconscious. But if you understand it and you can, observe it, then you can get to the other side of the wisdom, right? And let it not throw you off track anymore. So actually in this first semester, we cover a few tools of, so actually 5, 6, 7 tools of the 16 tools that support your career. Career type, personal interaction style, decision-making strategy, key indicators, and assimilation. And then also define functions and shadows and distractions. And then in the second semester, we will go into the general thematics, the strengths and contributions, traits and qualities, and also into public role. And the other tools are actually what you learn in the certification course. But as you can see, the overview is also with the environmental style. So what work setting do you operate best in? And just keep that in mind, because a personal one-on-one overview is part of the bonus I'm going to share with you later on. So the required material for this foundation course is the definitive book of human design. We are actually in the process of, making student reference manuals. So for those of you that have the package deal, the 8 success essentials, We are creating as we go along. So this is a new idea we had. The workbooks. So you will get each week kind of a transcript of what we share in class with all of the assignments, etc. And then also some contributions we had from past students for you to understand how it operates in real life for somebody who has that defined in their design. So that's really rich extra for you to read, right? And we are creating it as we go alongside this course. So that's something we have are newly developing right now with our new website as well. So to be successful in this course, you have to practice. There is really no shortcut at getting good at this. You have to live the information and not just learn it. So really incorporating the information into your cells of your body, so to say. It is not just mind entertainment, you know. It can be that way if you just sit back and listen, but you know, it's really about using it in a practical way. You know, that is what it's all about. And then you really grasp it, and then you really start living it. So you'll be giving assignments each week, practical assignments, and we talk about the assignments in the next class. So at the end of each class, and also today, you know, we will give you an assignment to help to integrate the information, to take a look at it and observe it in a practical way in your life. And then, you know, at the start of the next class, we will share about the ahas and, you know, what you were able to recognize and how you utilize this information for all to learn. So this is really rich, the sharings in the classroom forum and the sharings that we have in class. That's where you really, really learn. And I still learn every time around because, you know, everybody has a different design, and then somebody comes with something in the design that I've never met, you know, not with clients or here. So to hear how it actually operates is really, really wonderful and rich. So what I also want to say to you, you really don't have to be perfect or good or even right. You know, we ask you to come to class and to share. We are here to learn. So, and especially me, you can ask me anything 100 times. I'm here. I love being a teacher. And, you know, I really want you to grasp it and to understand it. So with teaching, I'm very patient. And so please just come and just share. You know, you'll learn by doing, and you learn from each other. And then the last thing, start your own personal BG5 Foundation binder for the handouts and notes. So as you notice, we have quite a bit of information on the slides. And there is the handout after class that's uploaded in the class resources. And so you can start your own personal foundation binders with it. And usually, you know, and Saral can say something about it, you always go back to this. Even now, I go back to foundation classes because all the traits, all the strengths are discussed in detail. And it's really helpful to go through the information, you know, listen to the recordings again, read the slides or, you know, the workbooks we have. I don't know how that is for you, Saral, actually, but.
Oh, definitely. It's a process. So it takes time. It's a lot of information. And me personally self also go back many times.
Yeah.
So it's not a thing you can just grasp all the time. It's practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
And it's good about the binder because, and once they start, fixing up your binder, get it ready, and you can always go back. It helps.
Yeah. So how do you learn by career type? And I've asked at the beginning of class, you know, what your type is. So builders among you, you really are here to study and understand your own design. So either classic builder or express builder, generator or manifesting generator. As builders, and I'm a classic builder as well, we are focused on ourselves, on understanding ourselves. So it's really about studying your design, which is going to have the biggest impact for you. And advisors, if you are an advisor, and there are quite a bit of advisors in the class today, so you are here to study and understand others. You are focused on others, you know, and you are great at and have the best success one-on-one, right? And so with that, in studying and understanding the designs of others, of your classmates, of your families and friends, that is really how you know, can take in and understand the information at a deeper level. And if you are an innovator, identifying who you impact on a daily basis and study and understand their charts, you know, that might be your family, your friends, or your coworkers, or your boss. But take a look at identifying who you impact on a daily basis and study and understand their designs. And if you are an evaluator, evaluators have really a different perspective, you know, a different way of looking at things. So it is about understanding the monthly cycles, because, you know, through the monthly cycles and the passing of the moon, each of your individual traits will get activated. So in that sense, you get the bigger picture over this period of time. So in studying the moon cycles, you will understand, you know, all of the aspects of design better. So this is how you can learn by type. So about the classroom, so the class logistics. So most of you probably are signed up already, right? Because otherwise you couldn't be here. So this little puppet, you get to your own student area, and you can get to my subscriptions. In my subscriptions, you can find the foundation course, click on that and come into the classroom. And on the day of the course, you see this button highlighted in orange, enter classroom. So you can either use this direct button to get in this classroom, or you can use the reminder that is sent out at the beginning of the day of the class, right? And here you can enter into the classes. The classes open up on the day that the class will be taught. So once you click on classes, you can find the objectives, of course, and here the resources. So in the resources, you'll find first of all the worksheet for the practice assignment, and what you know, a little after class, usually the same day, but at least within 24 hours, I will upload the class recordings and the handouts over here. For those of you that are our special guests today, you do not have access to the classroom in this sense, so you will get a special link to watch the review, the replay. And then there is assignments. So we have weekly reading assignments, and I'll always share with you which section of the Human Design Definitive book that is. And then we have weekly practice assignments. So this week, the first practice assignment is red and black, and there is a bonus assignment as well. And then you can share in the class forum. You can add a post and, you know, share your observations down here. And what is really nice, and what we see happening a lot, is that people also start interacting, right? Like, oh, does that work like that for you? That's so interesting. And my son and my colleague and my friend and my husband and my wife have it like this, and you know, so it's really interactive, and you know, I really try to create you know, a team here, so that we study and all together. So in a sense, this is, you know, throughout the week what you can do and share. And you can track your progress. So once you've completed all of the objectives, watched the recordings, did the reading assignment and the practice assignment, you can check it off. It will show up class complete, and then on the front page of the semester, you can track your progress. It will say 10% complete for one class, and it will have the check mark of the first class as well. And like this, you can, you know, track your own progress and where you're at if you lag behind, and it's a fun thing to do as well. Any questions so far? Just let me pause a little bit. I talk a lot, I know, and today is really kind of a one-way direction, but usually it is much more interactive, as you will see next week. No? All right, so the times we are in and why this information is more important now than ever. So I want to start off with giving you a sort of context in looking into this information and also why this information is important. And I'm sure all of you are aware of the times are changing. You know, things are shifting. What once worked no longer works, and what we were used to doesn't work anymore. So not only is this information available to you to help yourself in these changing times and shifting times, but also, as many of you do, in helping others. And because in this time we have been in the age of planning, you know, for the past 400 somewhat years, and we are in a transitional phase right now. We are in the last 7-year period towards 2027, when we start shifting into the age of the individual. And moving into the age of individual, this is a quote from Ra. So the whole direction is a shock. It's going to be a shock. And to be able to operate correctly as yourself, to operate in a world that will demand nothing less, it is a world that will embrace those who can operate as themselves. And it will mean a great deal of disorder and chaos and confusion to those who are lost in dependency. Everyone was nurtured in it. Everybody was nurtured in dependency. Everything about our kind is rooted in dependency. Dependency is about giving up your own authority. So one of the most important things is to operate as your true self, and being true to yourself and making correct decisions with your decision-making strategy, and not getting distracted by your shadows by, you know, using the conditioning in a healthy way to your advantage, using the mechanics in a healthy way when you are aligned with what is correct for you, and connecting with who you are designed to connect with, as I told you before. So this is something we will dive into this semesters. And we are moving into a world that will embrace those that can operate as themselves. You know, at the moment, most people are not operating as themselves. Most people, as we call it in human design, are living out their not self. You know, they're operating from their shadows. There's a lot of fear out there as well right now. They are not trusting themselves, and it is, you know, in this time also difficult. You know, who can you trust? We're living in kind of a illusion I will share in a minute. So, you know, so people are trusting everybody else's opinion and following along like sheep, you know, but it's really important to learn how to depend on yourself, because in essence it's really the only thing that you can trust in these times, you know, yourself. Oh, sorry. So what we have seen, and you all have seen your own design, and you know the numbers and the traits, which are the gates. And in the human design system, we can take a look not only at individual design and at relationships and interactions in small and large group, but also there is kind of global cycles. And behind all of this, there is something that's called the background frequency. So kind of the world energy of the totality. So this also is influenced by the planets, right? And it runs too far to explain it just now, but just think of it as how, for instance, also the tides of the sea are influenced by the moon, right? So the frequency of the planets also influence the larger picture of totality, you know, in that we see in the world patterns, so to say. So the current world pattern, the background frequency that we live in, is delusion and is coming from trait 16. So right now, what we see is false enthusiasm all around us. So the public communication of inevitable unrealized claims, the tendency to express fantasy as fact. One of the things I hear a lot is fake news. You know, it's all over the news, the fake news. So one of the things of the times that we're currently in is especially this, you know, who can you trust? You know, what is real? We have all this stuff with fake news and what is real and not real, you know, and what we once believed in our lives are that was healthy is now completely unhealthy, or the other way around. So it's very confusing. And a lot of people are very confused. It's easy to get confused, you know. Again, it's the tendency to express fantasy as fact. And the only thing, really the only one that you really can trust is yourself. And the more that you can rely on your decision-making strategy, the less shock and chaos it will be for you. And where we are moving to is wisdom. You know, in this era of the individual, this is where we are moving to. So the contemplation in the now, which results in the ability to apply understanding, the establishment for the benefit of society, values, ideals, and the patterns and how they can be understood and applied. The ability to transform individual awareness for general application and understanding. So we are moving to a place of wisdom. And one of the things about BG5 and human design, and there are many, many assessment tools out there, but what I found is you really literally have a map, and not only a map of how we operate as individuals, but also kind of a map of the mechanics of the universe itself, if you will. So, you know, that's something you'll learn about, you know, later on. If you continue on, you can study your whole life learning about human design and BG5. But, you know, it's really moving from that place of getting lost in the chaos and confusion, and then getting back to yourself, trusting and operating as yourself. Watch as the times unfold, you know, and you know that's really more and more essential as time passes right now. And in 2027, the actual changing point will be, you know, when we get into this era of the individual. So just to put it side by side for you to get a little understanding of the background, you know, and the major time of transition and transformation that we are in, this last 7-year cycle, you know, and actually we are living it. If you think that one cycle, global cycle, is about 400, well, the past cycle was 412 years, you know, it's now 5 till 12 till midnight, right? We are on the edge of shifting over to the new times, and that's what we see. You know, right now, we have seen the rise of all of our institutions and large corporations, you know, education, health, government, industries were all created in this age of planning. And it's been about the bargain, especially in the workplace. You know, you do this for the company and you will make X amount of money. And this is how our businesses were built. And a lot of people, you know, will go to a job simply to make money. So you work, you answer the phone, you make reports, whatever, and you get X amount of money. And it doesn't matter, or it didn't matter, if you were fulfilled, you know, if it was satisfying or not. You know, it doesn't matter if it has a bigger picture or you know, it was just about the bargain to work for money. It was about focused concentration. So if you think about factory jobs, you know, focused, concentrated, doing the same thing over and over again. And there was this hierarchy and system of powers, you know, in getting promoted up the ladder, which was kind of the force behind it, the push behind it. And it is focused on having the right talents or skills. So you really are there to learn and acquire skills, and which are maybe not who you are yourself, right? But that's what it's all focused on, our universities, trade schools, whatever. If you are weak in a certain area, you must focus on it and develop the necessary skills, whether you like it or not. So what we actually did was kind of let go of our inner knowing and put all of our trust and faith in the experts, in the leaders, in the doctors, in the scientists, in the gurus. And nowadays, with all of the information that is available at our fingertips, it's really hard to know who to trust or what to trust. So in this age of planning, it was about the individual working alone for the good of the community. It was, you know, you are more or less a number. I'm exaggerating here, but, you know, a cog in the system. Now, where we are moving to is the age of the individuality. And this is why we see these systems and structures are breaking down right now. Yeah? So we've seen, for instance, the Brexit and other things that are shaking up and shifting. So instead of the bargains, it's about self-empowerment and empowering others. It's about contemplation and wisdom, wanting to know the bigger picture and where you fit into the whole, not just being a part or a cog in the system. And instead of systems of power, this hierarchy moving up the ladder, it's about abundance of spirit and expressing who we truly are, not the label that we get as we climb up the corporate ladder. And instead of focusing on the weaknesses and trying to gain the skills that we will weaken, it's about trusting your own unique gifts and talents and doing what you are good at and what you love to do and let others do the rest, right? We all have our part to play. We all are a piece of the puzzle. So trusting ourselves, trusting your own inner knowing and not relying on the so-called experts to, take care of all of us. And finally, instead of the individual working alone for the good of the community, it's about breaking down the barriers in order to bond with others. So really from who you truly are, have a real connection with others. And the background frequency will, kind of back us up in becoming this. And sometimes it's hard, and even for me to well, it is hard to imagine what it will be like. And it's not about the individual in a selfish way, right? It's not egoistic. It's about living your true self and from that connecting with others. Think about a world where we would all be able, to live our true selves and be satisfied and successful, etc., and at peace, and then connecting with others. It such a different shift it will give. And it's hard to imagine what it will be like, to operate like this, because we don't have that background frequency yet. But it is starting to crumble down, and that's what we see. And I want to enforce here, I'm also very positive for a system to change. You have, something has to happen, something radical has to happen. I remember Chris in one of our BG5 lives. Actually, I have a slide on that. So this is the BG5 team right now, and we have every Tuesday at 1 p.m. PDT, on in our Zoom room or on Facebook Live, and then later on YouTube. You can tune in, and we have this discussion. And Chris once made this beautiful analogy with, if you have a big office building and you're going to tear it down to build a new one. You're not going in with the little prickers to tear it down, stone by stone. No, you come with this big machine with the wrecking ball, boom, or you use dynamite. So that we are experiencing this really rough time, it is necessary also, and knowing this system really gives me a lot of confidence and trust, and also grounding in that it is going in a beautiful direction. But first, something has to be broken down for other beautiful new things to come, right? So have faith. That's actually what I want to share. And actually in our weekly podcast, we talk about this kind of all the time, because we're right in the middle of it. And so what we do each week, we focus on the theme of the day, the trait that is in our conscious core essence, the sum that is our biggest influence throughout the year. So you can watch past episodes also in our free resource library, and all of the episodes are here. So it's really nice. Something, just a little side note about the times we're in. So any questions about that? Because, I know that sometimes it's a bit confusing, and if it's new to you especially, but I will be sharing about that along the way as well in our courses. All right, so let's take a look at today's class about conscious and unconscious aspect of design. So this is the binary and synthesis of the body graph. So we are going to dive into the material and take a look at how to understand the body graph. So with the body graph basics, we actually have 9 functions, which are our centers in our body graph. And we have 4 different career types or type. And actually we have builders, we have 2 types of builders, you know, the classic builder and the express builder, but in essence, it's 4 types. And there are 36 strengths, so channels, you know, the connections between 2 functions. 64 traits or gates, and all of the traits have a specific place in the body graph, and then you have 26 traits defined. And each trait has 6 potential qualities, and in total that makes 384 variations. So qualities are lines in human design terminology. So, and there is much more that you can learn about reading the body graph. So it functions in a binary, and there is this foundational binary and synthesis. So there is a binary, and then there is the synthesis bringing it all together. So the binary is the individual parts. It's like the ones and the zeros that is the underlying details. And it is the opposites. So it is the this and the that, right? That is how the mind operates. That's how the mind functions. So this is something to be aware of. The mind does not function in synthesis. This is part of the reason why the mind is not the best place to make decisions. It is really about the synthesis, and we are both the binary and the synthesis. And the synthesis is the whole that's greater than the sum of its part, and the mind cannot take in that wholeness of who you are. So the whole is the quantum, that is the genetic continuity. And I will, you know, talk about this more. You know, this term will come back, and you'll eventually will start to grasp what it's all about. But this is how our body operates. And part of understanding human design in BG5 is understanding this, you know, this binary and synthesis. So synthesis creates something unique. And I'm going to show you briefly what I mean with synthesis. So when we talk about synthesis, you have, for instance, the blue, and then you have the yellow, and that is the this and the that. And then the binary, when you know, this is a binary, the blue and the yellow. And when you put it together, the this and the that, it creates something completely new. The synthesis of blue and yellow creates green. So the synthesis is both, yet neither this or that, right? So together it creates something completely new. So the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. The whole is, the green is greater than just blue and just yellow. And there are in essence many synthesis layers that we can take a look at in an individual's design. But today I will discuss the 3 foundational syntheses. So the first synthesis is that of design and personality. So the red and the black, or the conscious and the unconscious. Then there is the synthesis of 2 defined traits, which makes up a strength, the channel. And then there is the synthesis of nurture and nature. So what is defined in you and what is undefined. So let's take a look at each. So the first synthesis is the red and the black. So when you take a look at the chart, so here you see my body graph, you can see that there are 13 unconscious traits and 13 conscious traits, right? And this combination of these 26 individual traits create the defined strengths and the defined functions. So they all color in. So a trait, the 51, for instance, here colors in the 51 in red, unconscious, and the 39 colors in my 39 in black, conscious. So this combination of these 26 individual traits make up my design. It colors in my design. Now let's take a look at how that works. So here again, my unconscious 51 and my conscious 39, right? So all of these numbers over here correspond to a red trait in my design, and all of these numbers correspond to a black trait in my design. So anything that's red is unconscious, anything that's black is conscious. So here you can see what it means. Now each number corresponds to a trait, and then when so the synthesis is when you have two defined traits. So you have one trait on one side, and you have the other trait on the other side defined, right? So here I have the 9 and the 52 defined. The 9 is unconsciously defined and also consciously, by the way, that's why you see stripe. And then the 52 is consciously defined and actually also twice in my design. So I have this strength twice. I have this strength of concentration, focused concentration, what you can benefit from, right? What I shared at the beginning. So two activated traits on each side create a strength, you know, and completes an energetic circuitry, and it defines the functions on either side, on either end. So with a completed strength, you also color in and define the function. Yeah? So it lights up. So that's the second level of synthesis. Now, as you saw in my design, there are different variations to be aware of. So we have the black that is conscious, and we have the red that is unconscious. So you can have a solid black line that is a conscious strength, and you can have a solid red line that's an unconscious strength. Now, when we take a look at it, the conscious strength, we can kind of take a look at this as a road, because in essence, it's what you can see and what you are aware of, right? And on the other side, a solid red line is unconscious. So you can kind of think of it as a tunnel. So it's something that you cannot see, that you are not really consciously aware of. So you do not always recognize it yourself. And at times it may even surprise you, you know, you don't always identify with it, you know, directly. And this is also kind of why we look at it as, you know, quote unquote tunnels, because you cannot really see it. So this is the part of the reason why regular assessment tools don't grasp the totality of who you are, because in essence, they cannot grasp this unconscious piece. You typically answer a bunch of questions with your conscious conditioned mind, right? So it just points out the conscious pieces and actually the extent to which you are living it out healthy or not, right? So you could have also half red and half black lines, a striped line. So this is a striped strength actually. So this is both conscious and unconscious strength. You can kind of see it as an overpass. You know, you have a tunnel and then an overpass. So this strength operates both on a conscious level and on an unconscious level. So this is, you are partly aware of it and also partly not aware of it, you know. So whenever you see this, and on the other side here we have half black and half red. So you have a part of the strength that's conscious and part of the strength that's unconscious. Here the full strength is both conscious and unconscious. Here it's partly conscious and partly unconscious. So partly aware of it, you know, it's kind of the car, yeah, well, the vehicle, in essence. The vehicle comes out of the tunnel and gets on the road, right? So this end of it we do not really grasp, and then when we get to the road that we can see, we do grasp it. And then you might see something like this. So you might see half striped and half red, or half striped and half black. So it's an unconscious strength that is partially conscious. So it's fully unconscious and partly conscious, or fully unconscious and partly conscious, fully conscious and partly unconscious, to get lost in the words. So this is, again, you know, just another element of, you know, what you are aware of, and what you're not aware of, where there is an overpass, where there is a tunnel, etc. So the thing to remember is black is conscious, something that you are personally aware of, that you recognize, that you identify with. And red is unconscious. That's your body intelligence. It happens at a more unconscious level. You know, you're not always recognize it yourself, and at times you may even be surprised by it. And you may not always identify with it right away. So these are the different variations of conscious and unconscious and black and red to be aware of. Now then we have the third synthesis of nature and nurture. So this is the last basic synthesis that we have in the body graph. And we will go into this in a lot more depth this semester, but I just want to give you kind of a general overview first. So again, we have the synthesis of red and black, the conscious and unconscious, and we have the synthesis of two traits. And when they come together, they create something new. They create a defined strength. And that defines the functions at each side. It colors in the functions at each side, it activates them so that they are, you know, that you can rely on it. And then we have this third element, this third binary of what is defined and undefined in us. So anything that is defined, so it can be anything that is colored in, so it can be a function or a trait or a strength. Anything that's defined is your nurture, you know, nature. Yes, exactly. Sorry. Nature. It's your nature. It's what you were born with, right? This is what you give to others. This is what you broadcast, what you transmit. It's what you are here to, you know, serve with. It is consistent and reliable form of personal energy. You can, you know, rely on it 24/7. It is your nature. It's fixed. It's fixed in the sense it's always going to operate in the way that it operates for you. And it is reliable and consistent in the way that it operates for you because it's your nature. This is what you were born with. On the other side, we have the undefined areas. So everything that's white, and white can be a function, white can be a strength, white can even be a trait, right? So everything that is open, that is undefined. So this is your nurture. This is what you pick up from others. This is where you get conditioned, and you can be conditioned in a healthy or in an unhealthy way, as we saw earlier. And that's really what we're diving into this semester. So this is what you receive from others. These are your receptors. So if we take a look at ourselves, kind of as a broadcasting tower, you know, what is defined is our tower, and what is not defined is where we receive the information. You know, it's the radio, it's the receptor. Now, we cannot rely on it. It is inconsistent, an unreliable form, but it is personal energy. Because you know, we all have everything, but because it's not defined, you cannot rely on it consistently. So in essence, it's very flexible versus fixed of what is your nature. So it's flexible because it nurtures you. You learn here, you go to school here. You can be conditioned, but you can become very wise about it because you are able to receive this energy from many different people, and become wise about it. So we'll be going into this in much more depth in, you know, especially the last few classes when we talk about shadows, and when we talk about the defined and undefined functions at you know, the second half of this semester. So again, here you can see a binary and a synthesis. You have on one side what is defined and your nature, and on the other side what is not defined, what is undefined, your nurture, and the combination creates the synthesis and interactive binary of your unique design. So you are everything, right? We are energy. Sometimes it's a bit, you know, hard to get your hand around, but when we put those two together side by side, then you have the synthesis of your design. The combination of your nurture and nature creates the interactive binary of your design, your defined traits, your defined strengths, your defined functions, and this makes up your design. That's how we can see and read your type and your decision-making strategy. And then all that's undefined is what you pick up and where you can become wise. Actually, we can kind of look at it as puzzle pieces. So it's the interrelatedness of nature and nurture. That is what we give to others. So it is what we receive. Sorry, if we take a look at these puzzle pieces, the nature is what we give to others, so the outward puzzle piece, and then nurture is kind of the inward puzzle piece, is what we take in from others, in, for instance, our undefined functions. So in essence, the whole world, or everybody plays their own part. You know, we're all puzzle piece in the full energy of the universe, right? And your puzzle piece is your unique design, a synthesis of your nature and your nurture. Yeah? And BG5 is how we are designed to connect. So this is the interrelatedness. That's what we learn about. So your unique career design. So the synthesis make up your career design and gives you the individualized expression of all your 16 success codes. So in the BG5 career design map, you have all of the 16 codes, and then you have the keynotes for each of these 16 success codes. When you have the success package, you will get a coupon code to get your full analysis, your complete report. So all of these aspects will be explained in the full report. So I'll talk a little bit about that when we get there, but we're almost there. So this is what we will be covering in semester 1. So I showed you this before, but this is what we were covering in semester 1. So the benefits of BG5 is really to unlock the power of your unique personality, right? Make the smartest decision in every situation, maximize your natural talents and gift, and feel worry-free. You know where anxiety and fear, it is natural, comes from, and what is unhealthy, where you are, over, how do you say that? Getting over anxiety. So feel worry-free, knowing that you're on the right path. Transform flaws and weaknesses into super perceptions, right? There's where the wisdom is. Forge powerful relationships in business and in life, and adapt and thrive in uncertain and rapid changing times in this uncertain world. And right now, a lot of people are looking for this kind of information. And we also notice that a lot of people come to Human Design and BG5 to learn more about themselves. And actually, in the background frequency, as I was talking about, right now we have for about a year now, and we will have it for about another 2 years, the trait 61 of inner knowing. So we are really, looking for the mystery of who we are and what is our role in this life, etc. So BG5 is also here to make more money, to be more fulfilled, discover fulfilling and rewarding work in doing what you love, and experience with that deep satisfaction, success, peace, and wonder as you can be of service with your great gifts, right? So how much is that worth to you? I'm asking if you want to continue on. Anyway, first of all, the assignment for this week. So I'd like to ask you, for those of you that are signed up, please update your profile so I get a beautiful smile from your actual picture. And then also in your profile, if you want, please add something about your Human Design or BG5 history and what your professional background is, because, it's nice for me to know. And also next week, we'll start with introductions to get to know each other a little bit, and where we come from and why we are in class. Then the reading assignment for this week is about, the 9 centers. Actually, next week we are going to start with the defined functions. and it's suggested to complete between now and class 5, but actually we have changed the order. So just, you know, get the first grasp of it, read the first pages to get to know, and if you are into it, you can read all of the when it's defined, right? But also take your time. This is a lot to read, and it's something we will get back to once we get to shadows and distractions in the last few classes as well. So the practice assignment, red and black. Suggested completion, of course, before next class. So in the worksheet, in the practice assignment worksheet, that is in the class resources, you will find a blank body graph. So I want to ask you to color in 3 blank charts. The first one, to color it in with all your unconscious design traits. So all your red traits that you have in your design. The second one with all of your conscious traits. And this will show you, you know, what you are not really consciously aware of and what may be a surprise to you, and the things that you are consciously aware of. And you will see also, you know, how it maybe connects up in what you are, if you have a conscious strength, how then also some of the functions are conscious or not, right? And then the career design synthesis. So the synthesis is the third blank chart. So that is color in both the conscious and unconscious, and start with the red, because if you have a half striped strength or trait, if you have red, you can stripe the black on it. But if you do it the other way around, you won't see it. So we also have a bonus to color in all the areas that you are not. That is actually your nurture. So all of it that is white in your chart. And it is fascinating, I can tell you, to see how much actually is not your nature. And that's logical, because if you think about it, how many people are we in the world? We all have our significant role. If our design would be, you know, all colored in, what do the other people do? And then share in the student forum, it's called now. We just moved over to a new website. So the student forum, the class forum, what you experience and learn in doing this exercise. So here I have it laid out. So the first one is use a red pen, you know, and find all of the red numbers and color them in. And then also see if you have something that connects up, you can also color in the functions, of course. So this is all of your unconscious design. And then your black traits, right? So color in all of the black traits, all of the 26 black traits, and see, you know, if it how it shows up. And then the third one is your whole design. So start with coloring in the red ones and then the black ones. And then you will see, you know, kind of the synthesis of your design growing. Now, some people ask me, you know, why would I do that? If, you know, why would I take the effort to do it by hand? But actually really coloring it in yourself, it gets into your cells. You really take it in, right? You could do it graphically on the computer, and the systems can draw this chart for you. But if you do it yourself, you really are aware of, you know, your different traits and how it all adds up. You may be surprised what experience you get from just doing this. So, and this is the last one, you know, what is not your nature. And you can see how much actually, you know, is colored in black and gray here. But these are the areas that you have that have an inconsistent form of personal energy. And actually there's a lot of receptivity in your design, a lot of conditioning by others. So for those of you that are our special guests, and also for those of you that are already signed up, I have a nice little surprise and bonus for you as well. So want to join us in a personal journey into your unique career design. So don't miss out this opportunity to join this class. And as I talked about in the beginning, I have a few incentives to offer you because, you know, we do not want you to miss this opportunity. So what dreams could you unlock if you knew how to master your personal career design? How could you serve if you discover a way to do what you love? And what would happen if you got a better understanding of the effects of emotions in the world today? Because there's a lot of emotions and a lot of anxiety and fear. So we will be talking about that. And what would happen if you got a deeper understanding of your purpose, you know, the essence of who you are and what you are here for to contribute in the world? And I will get you to those incentives in just a minute, but I just want to share a few of the testimonials of former students. So this is Connor, one of the evaluators who may or may not join us. So she actually says, and let me, yeah, we have time. So excellent course, I appreciate the laser info. The learning format is good. I appreciate the fleshing out of the material that you do, and also the asking for experiences and insights or comments. And I really like the multicultural aspect with students from different parts of the world, hearing from other design types about their design and experience has been illuminating and insightful. I appreciate the modeling of how to communicate with other types. So this is an evaluator student. And this is Cameron, an advisor. And he says, I've spent years teaching Myers-Briggs, spiral dynamics, wealth dynamics, Enneagram, the 5-factor model, and other personality typing systems. And I have replaced them all with BG5, which I consider the Tesla of typologies. It is the most accurate, innovative, detailed, and practical system in existence today by a very wide margin. And actually, Cameron calculated a 45-digit number of the possible variations of designs, you know, that are able with this system. Usually, typologies put you in a box, one of 6, one of 10, one of 16, maybe, and then, you know, how makes somebody that has the same typology as you different from you. Well, Human Design BG5 gives you the exact difference, right? And this is Dr. Dave Eldridge, an express builder. So this course gave me a great foundation for understanding the basics so that I could build on things from there. The specific aspect I liked most about this course was having the recordings and the PDFs for continued reference and support. I find I have to continue to go over this material to best understand things and continue to evolve. And really, you get it at a deeper layer every single time. So 3 other benefits I recognize about this course are confidence, in that the information is accurate, deeper connection with people, and more accepting and more curious of other people. I recommend the Foundations course to others. I feel this is the premier personal awareness tool that I know about today. And here is one from an innovator. So I learned much more as a result of taking this course than I could if I tried to do it alone. So for those of you that are in self-studies, I've been there too, but you really, really get it at a whole different level and having the interaction with others. I feel BG5 is very valuable to our development now and in the future as a means of moving forward by this knowledge, knowing where we all fit in and being able to bring it to a better together. And that's, I think, what the current shift is all about, you know, where we all fit in and to a better together. I actually like the way he puts it. All of us are necessary parts. We have individual roles where we personally are at our best and the best support to the whole. As we are uniquely different, so too are our roles. We are here together for each other. And I just have one more, so what I will just read this bit. Because Sachiko is actually right now also a teacher of BG5 Foundation courses, but she was a Living Your Design guide or even Living Your Design Guide or analyst, I don't remember, but she said, I think everyone who wants to become a BG5 consultant should take this course to learn BG5 words and difference between human design system. So even if you have a background in human design, it is really, you know, this course made me my knowledge broader, and it also gave me inspirations to do my LYD classes. It was an amazing information and amazing class. All right. So about the bonuses, we have special package. And in this package with the 8 essentials, you not only have both foundation semesters, but we have more to offer. So in this package, you'll get the workbook that we are, you know, creating as we go along. So you'll have the transcripts of everything. You'll have examples of past students. You'll have the assignments in there, etc. So these you will get for both semesters. Then you will get a full complete report for just $1. So usually these complete reports are $89. And you will get 2 workshops. So the first self-study workshop is the BG5 approach to emotional intelligence. This is 3 classes and 5 hours of material, really into how emotional intelligence operates in the world from a BG5 perspective. And as probably most of you know, the world, half of the world have emotional intelligence defined and the other half don't. And for those that have it defined, it's your decision-making strategy. But, you know, the world is run by emotions right now. And the whole discussion about fake news, the emotions are getting high. So to understand this, it's a beautiful workshop. And the other workshop is how to profit by being you from your drive and stamina. And actually, before the Profit Potential coaching certification course, that now is an advanced course of 4 semesters, the first 3 semesters actually contains the workshops that we previously did on each of the functions. So this workshop is 4 classes, it's 8 hours of material, and you really dive in deep into the drive and stamina function, which is the, you know, the root of, you know, the pressure to start everything, right? And it goes deep into all of the traits, the essence behind it, but also in how you can profit from it if you have it open, and how you can live it healthy if you have it defined. It's you know, an amazing workshop that you get for free, the workshops you get for free. And then there's also a BG5 career design overview, and the overview is actually a one-on-one session with a certified consultant, probably myself, because I like to do this, and actually one of our classmates, Amanda, already did it with me. She is in Australia, and you know, was anxious to get started a month ago. So, but you get 1.5 hours with me. You know, I'll dive into your design and the specific situation that you're at, the challenges that you may be facing, the questions that you have. And the career design overview is about the first 6 tools. Now, what is extra special also for those of you that already signed up for the package? So just to reiterate, the package value is $2,434, but actually you get the for a special price $1,499. So you save $935. You get a lot for free and a lot of discount, right? So you can see the difference here. You can also take a payment plan if you don't have this money just like that. I understand. I started out like you as well. So a payment plan of 5 monthly payments of $347. So actually, if you think about it, if you take both semesters, you know, just separately, it's $1,350. Just for $149 more, you get the entire package worth $34, yes, sorry. So actually your investment is $1,500 or $1,499 or 5 payments. And oh, sorry, this is the old, there's also the workbooks with it, right? That you get with the entire package of 8 essentials. Now, the special treat for today, and for those of you that sign up within 48 hours, and also for those of you that have signed up for the package deal as well. Today's special is in the one-on-one career design overview that I will do with you. I will also take in your life work. So this is actually one of the things you will not learn about in the foundation course. You will learn about it in the BG5 certification course. But it is a real bonus and very insightful to know your life work, because your life work is the essence of who you are and what you are here for. You know, what you are here for, to contribute to the world. So it is the overall theme and purpose of your life here in this material plane. In human design terminology, it's called your incarnation cross. So it really speaks to your destiny. And being aware of your life work theme gives you a deeper understanding of your path in life, you know, to keep you on track. It gives you the ability to stay true to yourself and your path. You kind of have, you know, this spot on the horizon, and knowing that you are on track, you know, that you are aligned. So if you sign up within 48 hours, so I gave a little bit of time to those that have an emotional decision-making strategy to sleep on it 2 nights, then you get the one-on-one BG5 career design overview also with your life work. Now, for those of you that already signed up and are on board, you also get the one-on-one career design overview with your life work. And Amanda, I will do a separate half-an-hour session with you to also tune into your life work. So you got that for free as well. So this is if you sign up for the package deal. If you sign up just for the semester, and if you have signed up just for the semester, you can also upgrade to the package deal. Just write me an email and I will let you know. Now, just to give you a sense of what life work is all about, your life work is 70% of who you are, and it's made up of your core essence and grounding balance. And I've put my life work theme here and that of Saral. So it's something that you learn in BG5 certification course. Now, my life work theme is individualism. So I am a mutative force that shocks others with my intuitive knowing and staunch individualism, but I'm not easily influenced myself. This is also because all of my traits are in the individual circuitry, and I really resonate with this. I have this kind of intuitive knowing. I can hear between the lines what people actually are saying, right? And then I will shock you into your direction, so to say. So, you know, don't be afraid, but you have a lot to benefit from with me as a teacher. And Saral, I don't know if you want to share anything. So you have experience, articulate yet opinionated. You take the laws of innocence to the level of an art form, the gift of expressing love and crisis in poetry or music. Are you going to sing for us?
I wish I could sing. No, definitely, that's me. So yeah, it's in everything of my life is to do if people come with their crisis to me. And the way I can express myself normally, most of the time, is emotionally through music and things like that. So yeah, definitely, my life work theme is all about experience.
Yeah.
And
Wonderful.
Natalie, I've got
Yes.
a few questions. Are
Yes.
we gonna
Tell
answer
me.
them quickly? Can I
No.
open them quickly?
Uh-huh.
The first question is from Olga. Is and a very, very good question. Is why should I operate as myself? That's normally the questions he gets asked from people. Is why should I operate as myself, and how would it help me?
All right. Well, you can ask the question back if people say that to you. Are you happy in your life, right? So the thing is, if you do not operate as yourself, you may get on a track that is not correct for you. So you are not satisfied in your work. You may get depressed. You may get burned out, right? This is what we see happening in the world. So why do you want to operate as your correct self? Because you'll find your correct path. You will be able to potentially fulfill your purpose in the world. I hope that answers your question, or I can allow you to talk. You now have the mic, so I don't know if you want to ask the question in your own voice.
Hi. Hi, it's Olga speaking. Hello.
Yes, hello. I can hear you.
Yes. Yes, hello, everyone. So, I just talked to my friend, to a friend of mine today, and I tried to explain her about my studying and explained to her about fulfillment and the purpose of the life and so on. And she just gave me this question: why should I live, like you say, in correct way, and why should I how did I formulate it, operate as myself?
Yeah.
And she has her own business. She is a restaurator. She has her own restaurant, and she always makes mistakes, but she likes it. And she has a very bad health, but she doesn't how to say it, she's not sorry about this health.
Yeah.
So she has headaches, she's very often high pressure, she's very often in the hospital, but she doesn't connect this stuff. She doesn't connect her operation, not from herself,
Yeah.
with her health, everything like that. So I don't know how to answer her.
Yeah, now a great question. You know the answer for yourself. Sometimes it's hard to explain to people if they are not open to it yet. But you could start with the example, like, you have this trouble with your health, etc. If you are living more in alignment, you also will operate in a healthier way with yourself. So it's just, different things. We will talk more about this throughout the course, but great question. And, sometimes it takes a little bit to sink in. Sometimes you just plant the seed with your friends and they'll come back later. And what really is fascinating, what I usually do, I say, well, do you know your birth information? I type it in, I show their chart, and then I say, well, you have the talent of blah 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 blah, and I this is how you operate. And they go like, really? Can you read all of that in this chart? Everybody in essence wants to know themselves, and some people are just focused and going, and there will come then a point in their life where they want to know this information, and some people don't. Well, then
Yeah, Natalie,
okay.
Natalie, and what's your opinion? Do we need to make some kind of reading, or how we call it here in BG5? Do we need to explain people what they maybe they even don't want to be explained, if they don't want to be fulfilled? So maybe we just need to let them go their own ways, and don't, how to say it, waste our energy on people like that.
Yeah. Yes, that's the answer. These people will come or not when it's correct for them. We don't push people to be themselves. People come to us because they want to be themselves. Yes.
Yeah.
So you can share what you do, you can share what you are learning, but it's up to them. It's their life. But there are so many people who are looking for this information, and actually also a lot of businesses who want to have the best for their people and use the talents of that are naturally available. So we'll get deeper into that as we go along the course. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, thank you, Natalie. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. The other question Olga had, now in the terminology of BG5, in human design, we call it the gate and channel, and BG5, it's straight and strength. So the channel is strength.
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to answer that for Olga so that she knows. Then Veronica had a question. She says, I see something called strengths by type student resources. It's that books of that set of 3. So as recommended, is it set of 3 recommended as additional materials? Should we go ahead and get those? And she also wanted to confirm if they are not included in the essential package.
Yeah, so great question. Yes, they are recommended additional materials. They're not included in the package. This is original transcript of RA, and it's actually kind of an in-depth course on the strengths, you know, all of the channels by type. So it's something that is nice for you to read. He explains a lot more about it, but also it's something we go into in the second semester. So if you'd like to wait, you can also wait. It's not required. It's just, you know, additional resource from original transcripts of the teachings of Ra. That's what these books are. They are very rich, but it's up to you to buy it or not. Yeah.
Good. All right. And then Olga had another question. She said, I have paid for semester 1 and for semester 2 of foundation already. How can I have the bonus?
I think we need to just email me about it, Olga. Then I can discuss this question with you, because I did see what you ordered and how you are moving about. So let's talk individually. Yeah. All right.
Okay, so Carlette said, I like the idea of 48 hours for the emotionally defined of us.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. 48 hours. Just, you know, sit with it and see how it resonates, if you feel invited to do so, etc. Yes.
And from Veronica, Natalie, thanks so much for the great kickoff. My DMS gut response.
Good.
Yeah, was reaffirmed and was so excited to start this journey becoming a BG5 consultant. Woo, great.
Yes, great. Great, Veronica. All right, well, let me just finish up and I can take a bit more questions. So maybe you have taken the Human Design Foundation courses, Living Your Design, Rave ABC, Rave Photography. Then we have a special audit price for you to audit the package and also the semester. So you can audit the semester for $420, and that is included in the package deal for $420 as well. So if you want this, then just write me an email with the classes, or actually the teachers, and when you have taken the foundation courses, and we can arrange this special link for you. If you have any other questions that come up after this class, or if you're listening to the recording, you can always email me. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to jump online if you just want to bounce off, if that's one of your helping you in deciding. And any general questions and inquiries, you can email office@bg5businessinstitute.com. So this is class number 1 of our journey, and next week we'll dive into the 9 functions and the healthy and unhealthy operation of defined functions. So I hope that many of you will join. I hope that you enjoyed this class. There's a lot more to learn. You get great details, and I'm a very dedicated instructor, if I say so myself, but that's what I get back from my students. So I'm really, I'm here to serve you, so to say. This is one of my profit potentials, actually, to be a teacher, to do education. So yeah, I love this system. I love getting people acquainted with their design to be able to live themselves. So I hope you'll continue the journey to unlocking your personal potential. And please remember, if you register within 48 hours, you will receive this, this extra life work, the extended personal BG5 career design overview. All right, so that's it for today. And if you have any questions, and actually what I'm going to do, I am going to give all of you the mic, and you can raise your hand and I call your name if you have questions. But what we usually do when we are in class, we start with, checking in with everybody, and then at the end of class, we all unmute and say goodbyes. So that's what we will do a little bit later. But if you have any other question, please ask. So let's see, Olga, I see your hand raised. Do you have another question?
Yes, I do. I do have a question, Natalie.
Yes.
Natalie, yeah. Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah, a question about your email. I checked your personal profile on the site, and the email is different from the email you just gave us in this presentation, but I'm not able to copy paste or to link your email from the presentation. So I do not have your email to mail you now.
Okay, it's just, you know, at BG5 Business Institute and my first name. It's easy. I mean, you can also email the office. That's me too. So.
but the link which I have now, which I have
Yeah.
on your profile,
Yes,
it's,
that's the Gmail.
let me tell you, it's Natalie Autentico
Yes.
TUNL.
That's
so
my
this
office.
one.
You can also email that, whatever.
Okay, I will email that because it's easy. I just link it. And,
Perfect.
Okay.
Yes, and do you have a question, Angela? I see you are unmuted, but I don't know if you have a question.
No, I don't. I was just getting ready for what you were saying before.
Oh, to say goodbye.
Yeah.
Is there anything else anybody would like to ask or share, or before we wrap up? And hi, Tracy. I hope you got my email so that we can meet a little bit later. Well, anyway, it was a great pleasure to. Yes. No? Okay. It was a great pleasure then to have you all. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see you next week to continue on this beautiful journey with us. And if you are inspired, please follow your decision-making strategy. And if you have any questions, I'm always available. So thank you very much all for attending this free class and be our special guest. And for those of you continuing on, see you next week. So we can unmute ourselves and say goodbyes and hear all of your voices. And I hope to see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Thank you.
you.
Bye.
Bye. Wonderful.